is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank.
Designer sneakers hurt my feet now. Every beat is getting beat down. Couldn't eat, well watch I eat now. Like how you getting paid to freestyle? Different cities every week now. Every woman is a now. What state prop you looking bleak now? I was home to sleep designer sheets now. 30 different missions. When I speak they listen. Couldn't find it so she fishing. Who the crew, it wasn't you. I know it's true cause you look like the opposition. Run it up, greatest ever sums it up. I ain't have a lot when I was coming up. Kinda made my stomach turn when I brung it up. Wait,
cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, gold tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank. Cook it up, gourmet. I go Super Saiyan, gold tank. Anything I ever do is top rank. Got more bars than a Shawshank.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready?
Get ready, dog.
This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People wanna know where Mace, Pops, and Dave went.
Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went.
Legs, arms, and head, all being moved in a frenzy.
The blends be all the right cred,
Meaning credentials.
best of both worlds
When we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental.
Are you ready?
Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Keep it steady, to the letter right, turn it up, we giving the show.
But can you rock it like rocket
What you
fuel?
talking about, space or out your mind?
But can you rock it like rockets,
That's a
fool?
close encounter of what kind? When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever.
Sick with the talk, pass to your receiver.
All about running the spot.
And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather.
Cardio kingpin.
Subjugate the dub play.
And you know we can't wait to bring spins.
A-star quizzes, A plus the final.
Vocals we align, we'll move it all
Simultaneously over joints we rock.
We earn
30 years so you can say we got
3 turns.
Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men.
We install doubt in you and your yes men.
And if the game had veins, we'll insert
Upheaval the ground.
cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing, relieving the kings of all crowns. Are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, y'all keep the flow.
But can you rock it like rocket
What you
fuel?
talking about, space or out your
Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
turn it up, y'all keep the flow.
Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go.
Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, we giving the show.
But can you rock it like rocket
What you
fuel?
talking about, space or out your mind?
But can you rock it like rockets,
That's a
fool?
close encounter of what kind?
But can you rock it like rocket fuel?
Hey, how fit to be the boss? Let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. And I gotta win no matter what, like fourth down, Hail Mary, no punch, like every time I touch down, I gotta stunt. Randy Moss, yeah, my numbers going up. All these trophies, what do I need any more for? Check the stats up, you can check the scoreboard. Check the stats, Jay Critch, I'm the QB. Ran it up and then I went and got a new freeze. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind. strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star, in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. If you ain't a winner, then don't come round. On my way to another city, it's a touchdown. I'm delayed, yeah, I gotta get it in a rush now. Let them hate, try to knock me down, but we got up now. You say that you ballin', keep it real though. Hey, why I never saw you in the field though? Hey, I make it look easy, it's a field goal. I've been grinding for a minute and I'm still going. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star, in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star, in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon.
Like that. It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Yeah. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Yeah. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello? That's the check calling. Let me click over real quick to let my check talk it. I eat it, ooh, Pac-Man. That's the way my neck talking. Right? I ain't never coming back the way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack, my bad, but I'm past that. But a NASDAQ, that's cash. When the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab brown man. When it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit, I'm glad. When the check missed the direct hit, I'm sad. Like she said she not a, she ain't.
With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And now...
This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in the ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience.
With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Ready to get us started, the Aussie punter and kickoff man, Michael Dixon. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 6.
Touch 50, touch 50.
Drop deep, Safe.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got?
95.
Give me some. Here we go. Check. Hot. Mike's 54.
Now it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Fred Warner. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
So much for coming out throwing as it leads to an early 2nd down and long.
Let's go double count right here, double count.
Now Wilson. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
54's Mike. Check.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. They'll run with Elliott. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. He's going to look deep end zone for Hopkins. And it'll be intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Hey, 0-0-0.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Mike 5-4. Zebra. 3 bud. Hey, alert 3.
On second and 11 now. Wilson. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. On first down, Elliott. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Check 52. Check. Watch the safety creep.
On second down now. It's Elliott, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. To throw, it's Rodgers. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal. At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, the spark that often wins games.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They begin on the ground with Kamara, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Let's go double count right here, double count.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson, eluding the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
On third down, Wilson. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. That'll go in the books as just a 16-yard punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their third possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense, just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
Escaping the pressure, and a big loss here as he's taken down. The D-tackle Sheldon Richardson came barreling in for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Vikings will take over here first and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off at the 46. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
Those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
Look, Allen Robinson, kiss him goodbye. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Allen Robinson, 41 yards as the Buccaneers tack up. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And the fake attempt here not going to work. Got a little yardage, but not enough to get to the goal line. Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to loft this one deep left. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls, and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a third interception in half number 1. Second and 10. It's Wilson again. This will be caught by Randy Moss. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And we came into this one focused on Randy Moss, and now he has our full attention with his first grab of the game.
Well, he's one of only 2 players to go a whole season averaging over 100 yards receiving and average a touchdown per game as well. That's a pretty impressive stat.
It really is, especially when you consider that every defense he faced was prepared for it and was kicking coverages in his direction.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 21. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Let's go. Take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.